active citizenship may mean so many different things nowadays. So to better understand what you in Orhūsas municipality mean by it, could you maybe briefly describe your definition of active citizenship?
From my experiences in the department where I work, I would say active citizenship is that people in the city, and it can be private people, and it can be associations, it can be companies, and it can be even the municipality, engages in the environment where they are. You can't just sit down and wait for someone to fulfill your dreams, and even though you think this might be the responsibility of the public sector. You have to somehow take an active stance and take part in the work for whatever you feel for.
A part of the way we see active citizenship is that we also put up some demands for the citizens and organizations and so on in our city to contribute. So it's very much also, it's giving and taking at the same time. And that's, I think that's an important part of it.
What do you mean by a demand? Because it sounds kind of threatening for someone who's not.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's really going. It's because we're taking a step away from at least in Denmark, the normal way of looking at the relationship between the citizens and the public sector. Is that the citizens comes to the city or the public sector with we want this service, we want it at this time, and so on, and we can't really do it like that anymore. We have to say, well, we can ask some questions back, and we can expect something from you as well. We can't. It's not only you who can expect to have this service delivered and have this area developed. We can ask the questions back to you as well, and ask you to contribute as well.
Is it
and
working?
That's when I think it is. But it's some people are also just leaning back and crossing their hands and saying, well, then we won't have any of it, So it's. But I think in the big picture, I think it's working. I think we're seeing a lot of people actually taking responsible for their own well-being. That's also a part of it.
Maybe you can tell me more about this United City Life Houses project, Johanne, you sent me. As I understand, these are the physical premises made by municipality for people to come and brainstorm about things that are important to them. Is that right? And how is it working?
Yeah, this is just one attempt to make platforms where exactly people, citizens, associations, whatever, can meet the municipality with their ideas in a local environment. If they had an idea about I would love to create, let's go back to the green theme. I would love to have a much larger areas with the gardens out here, and I would love to take part myself in establishing this. And then the municipality would look into, okay, can we do this here? What do you need? What kind of resources do you have, etc., etc. If you want to cooperate and co-create with all sorts of citizens and initiatives and businesses and whatever, we have to be accessible in a mindset and also in the local areas.
One thing is to get all those who are already active and who would maybe contribute anyway, to get them into the fold, if you can say it like that. But another thing is all those who are not really, who maybe won't be the first ones to invite themselves in, and that's much more tricky, I think, and much more difficult.
Have you been into experimenting mode for, let's say, some unorthodox ways of trying to build active citizenship with something that hasn't been tried before?
Yeah, I think we have both Jakob and I quite a lot, as this has been a focus on for some years now. We have in our city life houses in one area in Orhūs a cooperation about around an area which is actually belonging to a big supermarket. They have this piece of land in an area with some social problems, young people committing small, what is that? Not crime, but there's a bit. It feels unsafe. Yeah, exactly. And some people are complaining that it makes a very lovely area a bit insecure. The supermarket wants to cooperate with us and cooperate with the school, and also cooperate with the sport association, a national sport association, plus something related. They have a green agenda in this supermarket, so they want to see how can we co-create this area into something much more interesting for the local society. So now we are co-creating this green, not greenhouse, but green cafe, and also a sport track around the area, and this is developing little by little, and it's a lot of negotiation, a lot of meetings, and as Jakob said, we began very early as soon as we got the idea, or somebody out there got the idea. I actually don't know who took the first step. Everyone was invited in.
You also mentioned that citizens come with their ideas and initiatives. Are there maybe a couple that are actually materialized?
There are different scales. One thing that constantly pops up into my mind right now, because it has been a very recent project, is a big group, or used to be a few students who worked or they were studying biology, and they have come with a project and a already developed idea in their minds, and little by little they are gaining more and more you could land in the city, where they are allowed to transform the green areas, or the areas, into green sustainable gardens. Now they are, and they, I think, 150 young people divided into different groups, and they have developed during 1 year, or maybe even less. Another a bit more institutionalized project is the participatory budgeting. And you have probably seen this other places too, and many places in the world. The public sector, or we put out budgets into open calls where citizens can apply, and this is also going on in Orhūs and has materialized into different projects. It is very connected to the fact that the municipality has to give away some power.
And I think that's also empowering. It's not just being a client who receives the service. It's also empowers them to take some responsibility themselves.
It takes a lot of trust in municipality to participate. How important is the image of municipality, the face of it, for people to actually come and talk to you?
I think that's extremely important. I think because you're definitely right. We have to change this image of the municipality of being this huge institution run by all these bureaucrats, and you can easily get to have this image for yourself. But I think all the things we've talked about so far in terms of including them much earlier, empowering them, giving them some responsibility. I think all these things should hopefully serve as examples that are helping to create a new image of the municipality and what it is exactly. It's much more something that we're all in together in a way.